Ever since I watched the Superman movie last month, I have been starting to read comics again. I've been going into comic shops and just picking up the single issues from current, back then, 80s, whenever, whatever looks cool, whatever looks interesting to me. I want to talk about the ones that I thought were the best out of the ones I've gotten so far. So the first one, honestly, the weakest one out of all these that I got, Dr. Fate. Now, Dr. Fate is one of my favorite characters because he looks cool. His helmet is cool. I like how magical he is. I think he's a cooler version of Doctor Strange. Way cooler. I was a little bit let down by this issue. I don't know if I picked up the wrong one or something, if there's better Dr. Fate stuff, or if I should stick to the JSA stuff that he's in. In this, he fights a mummy, and I don't know Dr. Fate's villains, anything like that. I just wasn't expecting a mummy. Okay, so if you don't know who Dr. Fate is, he has this helmet and he puts it on. He gets the spirit of Nobu that kind of like takes over and controls him. And his wife doesn't want him to be Dr. Fate anymore because he keeps getting hurt. But she ends up coming around at the end of the issue. And it's tied together pretty well. I did enjoy it. It was nice. It's just the weakest out of all of these. So I was hoping for something a little bit better, something more than a mummy. Is this his like main villain? Like, is this a villain of his, just this mummy guy? I don't know. Maybe I'll find out later on. But I decided I wanted to rank each issue that I do of these. So I was going to rank it a D, but I'll rank it a... Actually, I like it more now that I'm talking about it. So let's try to rank it. Either a C or a B. I'm going to go with C. Might change it to B later. Next one is Firestorm. Now, this is him fighting Captain Atom. So the story takes place with him wanting to get rid of nukes, which is very Superman 4 of him. If you've seen that, maybe you've been lucky and not, but Christopher Reeve was amazing. So he wants to rid the world of nukes, and the U.S. government gets Captain Atom. I don't know him very well. I've only seen him in the Flashpoint Paradox movie, so I don't know much about him. I just know he's like another nuclear superhero guy. And so they fight. There's some shots with Ronald Reagan as president. He even speaks to Superman at some point, which is dope. You don't see Superman's face, but you see Clark Kent's face. But yeah, I thought this was very good. Now that I'm thinking about it, I am going to change Dr. Fate up to B and change this to C, or put this at C. So I like Firestorm. I think he's a cool character. I've only ever been introduced to him in the Arrowverse shows, especially when he got his suit in those shows. He was amazing. And I love his suit. I just don't like the headpiece on him. I think the headpiece is kind of lame. But other than that, great. And I want to know more about Firestorm. I want to read more. I don't know if I read more of this run, but my eyes will be out for more Firestorm comics. Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes. Okay, so this is where he fights Guy Gardner, which Guy Gardner was just in the Superman movie. That was my kind of introduction to him, and he was great in that movie. He's great in this, too. Even though he's not in it for very long, it's just a fight. So this is basically an origin story, and I don't want to get too far into it because this is the reason I bought book 1 of the run, and I'm currently editing my video on that. So I don't want to get too much into it. I'm going to put this in the S tier, though. Now we got All-Star Superman. Just the first issue. Also the first issue of the Blue Beetle one. I don't know the numbers on the other one. I think Dr. Fate was the first issue, if I'm mistaken. Sorry. They had this epic, like, hopeful feel to it, as Superman should be. You could tell why it was kind of an inspiration vibe-wise to the Superman movie, because it just gives that feel. And this also got me to buy the DC Compact version of the run. I don't know what DC Compact is. I don't know the difference between that and something else, but, you know, I bought it. And I'm currently reading it. I don't know if I'll do a video on it because there's a lot of stuff, a lot of different things in there. There's like a Jimmy Olsen thing. There was, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to spoil it in case I want to do a video on it. Superman saves these people from a mission to the moon, and they have this like mutant, gross looking thing in there with them. And so he like basically just gets him into the sun. And with that overexposure to the sun and the radiation, he ends up getting radiation poisoning, and it's killing him. And he finds out this news, and so he goes to reveal his identity to Lois. Super interested. Maybe I want to talk about it later, but this is such a good feel. S tier all the way. Love that. Love that. Now we got the Flash. Okay, so first off, this one, the cover says, "Too slow, Flash. This time your mother stays dead," which is why I bought it. I was like, well, I saw the show, and in that show, you see his mom die a lot, so I might as well watch it one more time and read it. So the story of this is there's this villain named Paradox. No idea who that is, by the way. Never even heard of him. And this guy named Paradox is using Godspeed to travel through time and create time paradoxes, like killing Captain Cold, killing a past version of the Flash as well. So he's just creating mayhem throughout the timeline. And one interesting thing about Captain Cold is he has ice powers instead of an ice gun. I think I prefer the gun, but I was spoiled by the TV show for a bit until it kind of got off the rails. So Barry goes back in time to find out answers from the Reverse Flash after being told by someone in the 25th century that Reverse Flash is the only one that can stop him. So he goes back and he has to wait there as his mother's dying. And once he's done, Eobard comes out and the Flash just starts fighting him. And then they end up teaming up. I love speedster fights. I can't get enough of them. I remember that one in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. Reverse Flash and Flash fighting around everyone. That was super cool. And this was also very, very cool. S tier, even though I don't know what's going on and I'm very confused. Now this one's a little bit different. This isn't a singular issue. This is a whole story because I just picked it up. This was also a inspiration for the vibes in the Superman movie, so I wanted to read it. This is Superman for All Seasons, and it starts out in spring that ends in winter, and each season has its own person like narrating about who Superman is and all this. First you got Jonathan, then Lois, then Lex, and then you end off with Lana. He's dating Lana in this, which is very different. And so yeah, I absolutely love this. This was also very hopeful, very human, and very upbeat. It just really shows what Superman is all about. And for that reason, I'm also going to give it a S. That's all I got, really. I picked up a Black Lightning comic, but it's the end of the story, so I didn't read that. I got the whole story instead, so I'm gonna read that. Probably do its own video for that. And I got this Justice League of America one. I haven't read it yet, so that'll be in my next one. I'll probably do some of these maybe once a month or so, hopefully. I don't know. I want to get at least 5 that I really like and then do it, so I have time. But yeah, that's all I got right now, so peace.